Chapter 18. The Journey Back. The little boat bobbed along across the toothpaste sea. There was a breeze in the air which filled the sail. However, the sea was much calmer than on the journey to Incisor Island. After all their adventures, the little two friends realised they were very, very hungry. Reece William searched in his rucksack. There were still some of the sandwiches Madame Milktooth had made for them. They sat in the little boat and tucked into the sandwiches. It was like they hadn't eaten for a week. It was getting late, and the sky was beginning to darken. The two companions were both very tired and yawned at the same time. "Just think I'll have a nap," yawned Milktooth. Within minutes, he was snoring loudly. "Oh well," thought Reece William, "at least the sea is calm this time." He snuggled down in the little boat, and soon he too was snoring. On through the night the boat sailed. The two little friends slept contentedly. When Reece William awoke, the sun was shining brightly. He sat up and rubbed his eyes. There in the distance he could see the huge Molar Mountains reaching up into the sky. He shook Milktooth, who was still snoring. "Come on, lazy bones, wake up," Reece William said. "Look, there's the Molar Mountains. We'll soon be there." "What's that?" mumbled Milktooth, slowly opening his eyes. "What's the matter? What's going on?" Reece William pointed towards land. "The Molar Mountains," he said again. "We're nearly there." Milktooth sat up quickly. "Home!" he cried with joy. "We'll soon be home." Reece William smiled. "We're not there just yet. There's still a long way to go, remember?" Milktooth's face fell. Reece William smiled again. "I just hope Boris and Roger are waiting for us." At this, Milktooth grinned. "Me too," he said. "I'm looking forward to seeing the Molar Bears again." As the boat got closer to land, the two friends looked hopefully at the shore. They couldn't see anything at all, only the little jetty. Then suddenly Reece William cried out, "Look! There! There they are, over there! It's Boris and Roger!" He started waving madly at the two giant Molar Bears. The bears spotted the boat and hurried along to the end of the jetty. Reece William used the rudder to steer the boat into land. As soon as they reached the jetty, Milktooth tied the boat up firmly. Excited and relieved to see the Molar Bears, the friends clambered out of the boat and raced towards them. "You two little rascals made it back then," grinned Roger. "Course they did," said Boris. "We always knew they would," and he too grinned. "Question is, did you get what you went for?" Now it was Reece William's turn to grin. He turned from one Molar Bear to the other, showing his returned tooth. "Well, we're glad to see you both safe and sound," the two bears said together. "Come on then," said Boris to Reece William. "Up you get. We'd best be getting you two back across our mountains. And on the way, you can tell us what happened." "Oh, joined in Roger. "I bet you two a pair of rascals had a few adventures since we last saw you." Reece William and Milktooth both grinned and nodded their heads. The two Molar Bears lay down on the shore so the two friends could climb onto their backs. "Right then," said Boris over his shoulder. "Hold on tight, 'cause here we go." And with that, the great bear set off up the Molar Mountains. On the journey, Reece William breathlessly told the bear their adventures, and what seemed no time at all, they had reached the top of the mountains. "We must have a quick sit down," said Roger. "My paws is aching." "Big strong bear like you and you got achy paws?" rumbled Boris. Reece William and Milktooth couldn't help but laugh. The bears laughed too. After a few minutes, they set off back down the other side of the mountains. Reece William sighed as he held on tightly. It would soon be time to say goodbye to Boris and Roger. Reece William felt sad. He was going to miss his friends, the Molar Bears, terribly. At the foot of the Molar Mountains, the four friends said their goodbyes. Reece William felt a tear in his eye as he shook Boris's great paw. "Thank you both so much," said Reece William. "We couldn't have done it without you." "It's our pleasure," rumbled Boris. "Anything to get back at that rotten Duke. And we'll always be here if you ever need us again." "Thank you so much," said Reece William again, and he hugged both bears in turn. "Right then," he said to Milktooth, "we'd better be off." "Yes," said Milktooth, "it's still a long way back home." "Off you go," the bears said. "Take care. We'll see you again." The two little friends set off. Every now and again they turned to wave to the giant bears. Boris and Roger were still at the foot of the mountains and waved back. "We might as well fly for a bit," said Milktooth. "Our wings have had a good long rest." Reece William grinned. He liked flying. So they flapped their little wings and shot up into the air. They sped along over fields and the little villages they had seen on the way. Once more they waved down at the Toothfaries in the villages. Reece William smiled. He was very, very happy. He had gotten his tooth back, and oh, what an adventure! "I suppose," he called to Milktooth, "we'd better go and see the king and tell him what has happened." "Yes, I suppose we must," Milktooth called back. He was still quite nervous. It was his king after all, and the trouble had been partly his fault. On they flew until Reece William called out, "Look, there's Tooth City. We're nearly there." "We'd better land," replied Milktooth. The little pair flew lower and lower. Milktooth gently landed. Reece William, however, still hadn't quite got the hang of it. His feet touched the ground and he lost his balance. Once more he tumbled head over heels. Milktooth laughed. Reece William got to his feet. His face was bright red. "Humph," he said. That just made Milktooth laugh even more. They walked towards the large gates of Tooth City. Reece William still thought it was an amazing place. As they had done before, the two companions made their way to the king's castle. They crossed the drawbridge over Mouthwash Moat. The two guards stood to attention. "We're here to see the king," said Reece William. Once more the guards led them into the castle. The little friends waited outside the throne room. The two guards announced at the same time, "Reece William and Milktooth to see the king." "Show them in, boomed the king, and in they went. The king was sat on his throne, but this time he did not look angry. Come in, he called. Reece William and Milktooth walked towards the king. He jumped up off his throne to greet them. Reece William smiled. The king looked at him closely. "You got your tooth back," he cried. "That's good, that's very good. Can't have teeth being stolen." And just for a moment he glared at Milktooth. Milktooth went bright red. At this the king laughed. So did Reece William. "Tell me all about it," said the king. And so they did. They told him of the journey, how they had met the Molar Bears, how frightened they had been in the Clark Palace, how they had gotten back Reece William's tooth, and finally, how they had escaped. The king clapped his hands. Well done, he cried. "But we must be careful. We won't have seen the last of that awful Duke and his rotten son." Reece William looked rather worried. "Not to fear," said the king, smiling kindly. "We will keep a lookout in case he returns to our land." This made Reece William smile again. "And now," said Reece William, "I really must be getting home."